and a monster home run hit to a place that
You want to hit this popping?
Who would have thought hip-hop would have made it this far?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Rob Duran Podcast. Fellas, what's up, man?
Yo. It's good. It's cold as hell.
It's cold in New York. It's cold in New York.
It is brick and a half, B. That is, it is officially, not officially, but it's for sure winter. For anyone who was doubting it when we had some nice days, I think like a week or two ago. Nah. It's a haha, psych. But we here, man. Let's talk some NFL. Let's recap last week. Some interesting stuff happened last week. Some unexpected things, I should say. Between blowouts, which surprisingly I didn't predict the blowout in the game that it happened. But what are you guys' thoughts?
I'll go first. Firstly, I guess we could start with the Bills and Broncos game. I thought it was going to be a back and forth game with two teams having some key clutch plays towards the end. And the Broncos pulled it off. They won in overtime, and there was like a couple of questionable calls that people were, the internet was having a frenzy about. I personally think the refs got it right, and I think the right team won because the Bills were literally. It seemed like they wanted to hand the game to them at some point. So. Another prediction I got wrong was the Patriots and Houston game. And there, boy, oh boy, CJ Stroud, man, wow. He sure knew how to lay an egg, man. He tricked me, He had a nice little second half in the regular season. And then the playoffs come, and he just totally wet the bed. And now people are they're discussing whether or not he's going to be a Texan next year. So, terrible game from his part. The defense they couldn't do much, There's not much they could do for all the mistakes. I mean, the Patriots also were pretty sloppy with the ball as well. But they made the right plays. I think Drake May, if you look back at the tape, I actually think he did have a solid game in spite of all the fumbles. I think he looked really good, and yeah, the Patriots are looking like a wagon right now. And don't get me started with the Seahawks. They had the most impressive. They had the most impressive outing. I was there. It's funny how that was the game that took me the longest to pick. It ended up being the most lopsided game of the weekend, and that defense looks scary. And kudos to Sam Darnold. He didn't turn the ball over. So.
Regarding CJ, definitely laid an egg. And pretty much the entire playoffs, if we're being honest. He just happened to get away with the win in the first round. But, yeah, man, I'm all for him getting traded. I think they should trade him. Get rid of him. Send him to New York, to the New York Jets.
Of course.
Immediately. Send this 24-year-old franchise QB who isn't having success in the playoffs early in his career and send him to New York and let him figure it out with the Jets.
let him rot.
That's my thoughts on CJ.
I thought it was supposed to be reversed. I thought you're supposed to start your career in New York and then you leave and become an all-star. I thought this
is the new cycle. We're starting a new cycle here.
Okay, that's how you break the curse. Okay. All right.
Nah, but my takeaway from that game, New England is for real. I should have stuck to my guns with New England to the Super Bowl, like we had when we did the recording, Cesar. That defense is serious, man. And I pointed it out. Mike Vrabel and the stuff he does on defense is crazy stuff. Like he may low key be a little bit psychotic, which in a good way, because the looks that he gives on defense do not look like the plays ultimately end up coming out, which is just the most confusing thing for an opposing QB to have to deal with. So kudos to the Patriots and the defense. Drake May, yeah, he had the fumbles and all this stuff, but he didn't play terrible. he didn't give the game away, and that's why they ended up with the W there. The Niners in Seattle, what the freak happened in that game? I don't even know like where to start. It was just like a disaster from the get. And
Yeah, the
it
first
just
kickoff.
it was just like a snowball effect from there on
Rashid
out. It was
Shaheed, he was a pickup before
Yeah.
that was a good pickup for them in the middle of the season. It's paying
Yep.
dividends now.
So that game it is what it is. I'm not even gonna touch it. It was just I don't even know.
It felt like this is what we expected the 49ers to look like with all the injuries that they've had. Those poor
Yes.
poor guys, man. Because Jesus, something had to give, and leave it to a fresh Seattle who had a bye week to come hungry.
And then Buffalo and Denver. That game was a really good game. But Buffalo did what Buffalo again, and I said it to you guys in the chat. It's like the Buffalo Chargers, the Los Angeles Bills. It's all one in the same, no matter which way you look at it. Once the playoffs hit, these teams find ways to lose a game or not win a game or give away a game, whatever you want to call it. And then they ended up firing their coach. So bringing in a new voice. So we'll see who ends up taking that job. I think it's an attractive job. Josh Allen is the QB. You can't go wrong there. That's a good start.
Yeah.
But I do think that roster needs some help, though, if they want to really get over the hump.
Yeah, I think honestly, the Bills they had that game. I think they had a really good shot at winning. I thought the firing of the coach, I'm not sure whether I agree or not with that, because it was just, I mean, this could very well be probably the worst playoff game we've seen Josh Allen play. And he still had like a okay game. Like, it wasn't like very bad. But for his standards, he was very teary-eyed after the game because he knew that, like, there was a few mistakes that he couldn't, that they were very costly for the team. So I like Sean McDermott as a coach. I thought that he did a good job. They lost their safety early and they still overcame that. So, like, as a defensive-minded coach, I thought that he kind of kept the team together. But you don't know what happens behind closed doors. So maybe ownership has a different vision. We'll see.
Yeah. I thought all these games were like insane defensive games for like all the teams. Like, the amount of turnovers all these games had was insane. Like, I couldn't believe it. 5 turnovers for the Bills. James Cook got rocked, fumbled the ball. Like, that turned into points. For them to be able to make a comeback and take it into overtime was like insane. But then to lose like on a dumb interception was heartbreaking. And not just the Bills game, like Texans as well. Matt turnovers. The Bears game, we haven't even spoken about the Bears game. That game was crazy too, and ended on a similar note, on a turnover pretty much. The Patriots looked like they were ready to play though. They came out hungry, ready to dominate. That, as you mentioned, Roberto, that defense looks A1, and I kind of felt like they were going to play like that, especially in Foxborough with the weather. I just had like a hunch that was gonna go that way. And then Seattle, they did freaking destroyed my 49ers pick. But yeah, they set the tone early and never looked back. Is there a game we're missing? No, I think that's it. The Bears played. Who they played again?
The Rams.
The Rams, yeah.
Yeah, so that's another game that was tight. I felt like whoever had the ball last was going to win the game. At times, the Bears' offense looked stagnant, but then when it mattered the most, he pushed the ball and it got to where he had it to get, whether running or passing. But then I think that miscommunication with the receiver not going towards the ball kind of like gave up, no effort, kind of like cost him the game, and it sucks to see it that end that season that way for them. I don't know if we're gonna go to our predictions for next week now.
Yeah, we could
let's
do that.
jump right in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got the Patriots beating the Broncos, mainly because the Broncos don't really have a quarterback this week. Nick's fractured his ankle, I think, in the last few minutes of the game, and he's out for the season. So I think the Broncos are gonna like rely heavily on the run game, and the way that Patriots defense is looking, they're gonna shut it down. And then you got like basically a rookie quarterback back there playing, and defenses tend to have fun with young and inexperienced quarterback, so they're probably gonna confuse him and disrupt his timing. So I got the Pats beating the Broncos, um, and then I got the Rams beating the Seattle Seahawks, mainly because of the Rams' offense and their defense is pretty stout too. Like they'll keep them in the game, but I believe the Rams' offense is better than the Seahawks' offense. I feel like Sam Darnold is gonna lay an egg, man. I just feel
Oh.
it. I just feel like he's gonna lay an egg. Like when the moment's gonna come in the fourth quarter, if it comes like to a tight game, I think he's gonna throw like a pick or strip sack, and that'll be that. So I got the Rams and the Patriots heading to the Super Bowl. What do y'all think?
Hey,
You want me to go?
I'm ready.
Go ahead. You go, Cesar. You go.
All right. All right. So, damn. All right. So, for the Patriots and Broncos game, I also see it similar how Hasiel mentioned. I see the Patriots winning, mainly because, Bo Nix is going to be unavailable. They have, I believe it's Jarrett Stidham who's starting, who hasn't had a start the whole season. And like Roberto mentioned earlier in the episode, Vrabel does so many schematic plays on defense. Like he disguises, you think he's gonna do something, then he's gonna do something else. I feel like early on that he's probably gonna put one extra man on the box to kind of probably stop the run. Because as Hasiel mentioned, the Broncos are probably gonna try to rely on their run game early. And then later on in the game, I think Vrabel's probably going to disguise blitzes and confuse him a little bit and then just go back, drop to coverage and just like switch it up. And it's going to be a lot for a young quarterback to deal with on the fly. And I know Sean Payton is a great offensive mind. So I do expect them to hang around in the game a little bit, just based on the respect of the Broncos because they do have they have a good team overall. They was the number one seed for a reason. But man, that liability at quarterback is too much. And Drake May, who's arguably the MVP right now, it's a lot to face. It's a lot. But hey, he's playing with house money. Go out there, try to have fun, and nobody's gonna be mad at him if he lays an egg. But as far as the Rams and Seahawks game, this game I've been going back and forth. Probably since I found out the Rams won. And man, Sam Darnold has looked good in these playoffs. I mean, it's only been one game, but he played a flawless game though. Like he did some very impressive tight window throws. He impressed me a lot. These two teams they split in the regular season. They had a barn burner on a Thursday night, 38-37, that ended in OT. So that'll be fun to watch if they do that in the playoffs. I doubt it. I think it's going to be a little bit more low scoring. But Sam Darnold has had two terrible games against them. He turned the ball over twice in their second meeting. And, well, that second game, he didn't play that bad. It's just that, he turned the ball over twice, and I think that's going to be a little costly. And then the game prior to that, he threw 4 interceptions against the Rams this year. So I think, similar to how Ciel is saying, if it's going to be with who has the ball on the line, do I prefer Stafford or Darnold? I'm going to go with Stafford. And, I know the Seahawks defense is scary, which is why this could be a generational defense, like Baltimore Ravens with Joe Flacco type thing. So this, they might not even need to have the best quarterback in the league. They just need the guy not to turn the ball over. So si Sam Darnold no se aloca, they're gonna win this game. But yo creo que se va a alocar. I'm gonna have the Rams winning 24-21.
Oh, man.
Okay. I mean, I think the consensus has been what it is for this New England and Denver game. I think the moment Bo Nix went down, maybe they surprise us. Maybe, who knows? King sabe, because the NFL,
defense.
one game is one game. Anything can happen in one game. But it's hard to pick against New England. I think even with Bo Nix, I would have leaned New England anyway, especially after seeing them in action last week and the way that defense played. I think Drake May has a big game in this one. Denver might struggle to put up points because of the quarterback play. I'm not going to call it a blowout, but I could see something like a 24-13 type score, something like that. Where Denver has to rely heavily, like Hasiel said, heavily on the run game, maybe get into field goal range and score 3 points instead of getting the touchdown. But I got New England for that first game. That second game, though, man, I had my pick, and then I started changing it. The more y'all talked, the more I kept getting in my head about this game, because I'm like, it's a coin toss, because there's two really good teams. Seattle's defense, like Cesar pointed out, Seattle's defense is so damn good. We saw what they did against 49ers. We saw Sam Darnold play well. He didn't have a lights out game, but he played good enough to win that game. And then Matt Stafford is just Matt Stafford. I'm gonna go. Yeah. I'm gonna go Seattle, bro.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick with it. I picked them to make the Super Bowl. I'm gonna stick with it. That's my final hope to one up y'all if Seattle makes it. So I'm gonna stick with them in a very tight game, though. It's gonna be like a bruiser type of game.
Yeah, and I think that was the original Super Bowl, Roberto, was Seattle and New England before the playoffs started. So.
I think so, yeah. So we're back.
We're back. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, now you made me nervous, even more nervous for that game. Because, hey, man, I don't know. The Seattle team could be very special.
Yeah.
And I think either team that wins against the Patriots, it's going to be a hell of a Super Bowl. East Coast versus West Coast.
We're in for a treat, man. I think, obviously these playoffs have been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best, game for game, pound for pound type of stuff. Maybe one of the best playoffs we've seen in quite a few years. Because every single game has been except the blowout against the 49ers, every single game has been tight, has been must-watch TV, edge of your seat kind of thing. But
two overtime
we're in for
games.
Yeah.
Which is very rare that happens in the playoffs. So it's been very intense. I've been loving these playoffs. And it's because the season has been so random, don't really have a dog in the race. I just want to see good games, and I'm getting blessed with good games. So, can't be mad at it.
Yeah, my team got eliminated early, so I could just enjoy the rest of the playoffs as a bystander and just enjoy football for what it is. And it's been a good ride.
Yeah, my team got eliminated last year, so I've just been watching.
That's funny. I'm dead.
Speaking of your team, Miami Dolphins hired Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator of the Packers.
Yeah, I saw that.
They got a good one. So they went from an offensive mind to a defensive mind. So we'll see.
Harbaugh officially with the Giants.
Yeah, I saw the news conference.
They did that quick.
Yeah.
I told you guys, the moment he had that interview with the Giants or the Raiders, they weren't going to let him out the building. You cannot.
Yeah.
So the Giants, I'm glad hopefully they have a good nucleus. They have Dart, they have Neighbors, like build on that, man. Hopefully
Yeah.
this is the coach that kind of catapults them to the next level. They're talking about Rex Ryan as defensive coordinator in there,
Ooh, I would love that.
which I love Rex.
Me too.
I love Rex, but that should
Yeah,
be
all
good.
my respect.
Harbaugh with Rex.
And then they get Monkey, I guess, on offense, or Monk.
Oh, see, yeah, he brought him over with them.
Yeah, which I think he's like, they're good running the ball, so we'll see. If they could turn the franchise around, like playoff contender in the next 2 years, I'll be satisfied. I'm just tired of them losing for like the last 10 years, bro. And
Honestly,
like losing in the worst ways, and like by mid-season, you already have no hope for the rest of the season.
honestly,
Like it's pointless to watch it.
I could see the Giants making a playoff push as early as next year. If everyone stays healthy, Harbaugh's going to bring in some of his guys. They're already talking about the center from the Ravens coming over. That's a huge boost on the O-line. I'm sure a couple other guys are going to come over as well. The Giants can make some noise, man. It could be one of those like coaching change and all of a sudden quick turnaround in 1 year. It's happened before. We could see it again.
They just gotta stay healthy, and
Yeah.
but look at the Patriots this year, for example. And the Chicago Bears. I think Vrabel came in last year, or was it this year?
This year?
This
I
year.
think.
Yeah, because, this year.
So look at that. They went from like 3-14 to 14-3 or something like that. Some wild thing like that. And then the Bears, they bring in Ben Johnson, change the coach of the franchise. A field goal, a mistake here and there, they probably would have been in the championship game. So I think the Giants, their best attribute right now, well, the thing that they need the most is health.
Yeah.
They just need to be healthy.
Robert Saleh got hired
Robert
by
Saleh,
Tennessee.
yes, he got hired by
Titans.
to the Titans. I'm happy
I'm not
about that.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm happy for him, the person, Robert Saleh. I'm happy for him because, he had a tough go at it with the Jets.
Yeah.
But unless you're Rex Ryan, you don't really figure that shit out over there.
Yeah.
So,
And I think he had one good year with them too, right? Like, the defense was pretty good 1 year.
The defense was good under him his entire tenure. The problem was Woody Johnson. Not even Woody Johnson forced him to fire LaFleur. I forget his first name, but the offensive coordinator, he had him. They were supposed to bring up Zach Wilson with him, all that stuff. Woody Johnson forced him to fire him, and that's kind of where the offense went downhill after that. So he never really had like too much of a say with his staff and personnel and all this other stuff, which the moment you strip that away from the coach and the owners making decisions, it's game over from there. That's the kiss of death, basically.
Yeah,
so he never really coach. I think his last few years, maybe the last 2 years, even with the Aaron Rodgers stuff, I think it was, he was a sitting duck, basically.
Yeah, and that injury to Aaron Rodgers kind of just killed that whole year. So
yeah, and then I don't think they should have fired him because they were only like 2-3 when they fired him, and it was like just let him ride out the season, see what happens.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be a good fit for the Titans. I just don't. The Titans aren't one of those franchises. I don't know, like. I hope he turns it around. He got a good young quarterback and probably young talent, but I don't have a lot of faith in the Titans like that.
It could be a 2-year project. We'll see. Not every team is gonna figure it out right away, like the Patriots did, or the Bears. So,
what gives him, I guess, a good chance to shine is the division he's in. It's not the toughest. It's a winnable division. So, if they could play stout defense and figure out their offense, like run it and manage the game, they could probably win the division. But we'll see. Jaguars got a squad too, so.
Yeah, the Jaguars look pretty good.
And the Colts too. Before Daniel's injury, they were killing.
That too, yeah.
So,
A tale of
um,
two seasons. The Colts.
yeah,
Yes.
they were like number 1 seed until he got hurt, and then they lost like every game after that.
Crazy.
That's
They were
insane.
the last team to lose, I think.
Yeah. Them and the Buccaneers had like similar seasons.
Yeah, that's
The
a good
Bucs
point.
started hot too.
That's a really good point.
How about Kevin Stefanski going to the Falcons to be the coach? And he was Baker Mayfield's former coach at the Browns, and now he gets to play him twice a year. I saw Baker sent him a
That
little
should be
tweet
fun.
talking shit to him.
That should be fun.
Hell yeah, that should get me excited. Is there any other coach? I think that's it for now. Besides Sean McDermott getting fired, where do you think he'll go? Like, what would be a good fit for him?
You think the Steelers would entertain that?
They
I know
might.
it looks like they're trying to go defensive because they're trying to like get Brian Flores, or at least an interview with him.
They might entertain Sean McDermott.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be sitting out this year.
If they're smart, they should do their due diligence and interview him.
I would.
He's at least gonna be a DC, a defensive coordinator, maybe.
Have the Raiders gotten a head coach yet?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't mind him going to the Raiders. He can probably straighten them out, given the right tools and opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely changed the culture in Buffalo.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So she got fired, man. I felt bad more for Josh Allen. One, put the blame on himself, and
Yeah.
a lot of it might have been, but then like you're dealing with that loss, and then next day your only coach that you kind of knew gets fired. Now you probably feel like double the blame for that shit. That must be hard. You gotta like do the Aaron Rodgers, go into the woods and do Hayabusa or whatever it's called.
Ayahuasca. And a 4-day darkness retreat.
That gotta be rough.
Yeah. Honestly, that loss was very Green Bay-esque. That Bills loss was like, damn, man. I feel for y'all Buffalo fans. I go through that every year.
That's all I got on that. Should have been their year, or could have been their year. They had all the obstacles out the way and couldn't pull through. Winnable game. Yes, yeah. It's football.
Yeah, man. Any last thoughts on football?
I got college football a little bit.
Oh, right. Indiana, congrats.
Yeah, screw them. I think they went 16-0. First time in a long time.
Undefeated, right?
First championship in their school history. Unfortunately, it went against my favorite college university, the U. Good game for the most part. I felt like the U's defense kind of stopped being as aggressive as they should have been. They couldn't stop them on fourth downs. And that kind of led to the quarterback run that he had, Fernando, at the end of the third or fourth quarter that took him over and kind of like held the league after that. But that drive was like the pin to end it, basically. They couldn't stop him. They went for it like 2 or 3 times and just couldn't stop him, and made a decent effort to make a comeback and stay in the game. But then again, quarterback turnover to end the game. And that's all she wrote. So congrats to both teams for making it far. And didn't expect this as a college football championship. This was not in my bingo card, but I'm glad to see a university come out of nowhere and win it. And their quarterback is a Cuban American, so probably like the first Cuban American to be on that stage. And then to do it against like a storied franchise like the U, it's something. It goes on in the history book. So hopefully we'll be back next year, but we shall see.
And then he'll be the number 1 pick in the draft, Probably.
Most likely. So, Heisman Trophy winner and championship winner. Which it's been a while, I think, since you got in that combo too.
Good for
It's a
him.
pretty good resume.
Super. And on undefeated team, that's some Matt Leinart shit.
Yeah.
Who has the first pick next year for the NFL?
I'm not 100% sure if it's the Raiders, Titans, I forgot, or Browns, one of those bum teams.
Yeah, the first pick goes to it's the Raiders. Raiders, Jets, and I think
The
I don't remember
Jets
who
really got the second pick.
they got the second pick.
All right, so Raiders, let's go. Let's get Sean McDermott and let's get one of these quarterbacks and let's change these franchises around, man. We got to strike while Mahomes is recovering and shit. Herbert's still a bum, so and Knicks now too. Knicks is gonna be recovering too. This is our chance to like make some
Wow.
noise.
Wow. Raiders.
Damn.
Fingers crossed. But nah, they'll probably draft the wide receiver, the fastest wide receiver in the draft. That's probably what they'll do.
Works for me.
Yeah, because then you get the quarterback. Yo, if they do that, oh my god, I am disowning them. Oh man, but yeah,
If that happens, I will have to say that maybe the curse has been lifted. If somehow he falls to number 2 to the Jets,
Yo.
I'd be shocked. But
that'd be a blessing.
Hey, the last time we had a quarterback reach the AFC title game, championship game, it was a Mexican American. Now they get a Cuban American to change it up.
In New York too.
Yeah.
maybe that's all they need, a little seasoning.
Mm.
Stir things up.
Spice, some adobo.
Facts.
Man.
Facts. Roberto, are there any like MLB news? Like, has there been any moves that we need?
I mean, there've been some moves. It's the slowest offseason I think I've ever seen in my life. The Hall of Fame got announced today, though. Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones got in. Finally, Andrew Jones gets in.
Were they the only two that got in, or that were announced
The only
so
two
far?
new ones, yeah.
Okay, I saw like Felix Hernandez got more votes but didn't get in.
Yeah, there's a few guys that should be getting in or should get in at some point. So congrats to those two guys. Well deserved, obviously.
Yeah.
Beltran being elite, Andrew Jones being one of the best center fielders we've ever seen play with the Gold Gloves, over 400 home runs. Like, the dude was just one of one for a very long time. So long overdue. Finally glad he's in. I do have some thoughts, and this is not a shot at Carlos Beltran.
I don't think
because I do think I think he deserved it. My problem with him getting in as quickly as he did is that he was part of the mastermind cheating scandal with the Astros. Now we're doing this whole thing of like, we're gonna let these guys in who did the most atrocious cheating in the history of the sport that got swept under the rug and nobody got punished for it. But we're not going to let guys like A-Rod and Bonds and Clemens, these guys in,
Sosa.
But, yeah, like...
Yeah, it's like a whole list of like 30 people that should be in the Hall of Fame right now.
Yeah. A-Rod's percentage did go up from 37 to 40, but you need 75. I think this is his 5th year on the ballot, so he has 5 more years. I don't think he gets in through the vote, honestly, just unless we see a complete recycling of the writers who vote for these things and we get like some new fresh blood, younger folks in there to start voting. I don't see these guys getting in, but let's not have double standards, folks. If we're going to put in Beltran, again, who I think deserves to be in, but if we're going to put him in, who was part of this crazy cheating scandal, why are we leaving out the quote-unquote steroid era guys who essentially saved the sport? And I'm still sticking with it. The former commissioner, Bud Selig, knew what was going on. He did not care because baseball was making money at the time. The sport was saved by these guys hitting home runs and throwing harder and all this other stuff. And he's in the Hall of Fame. So that's always been my thing. Let's not have a double standard on things. Let's be consistent. If we're going to vote one guy in, we got to vote them all in. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree. I really dislike the MLB Hall of Fame, so I would just keep my opinions to myself.
As far as other moves, Cesar, we're still waiting on Cody Bellinger to sign the deal with the Yankees. They're the only team that's offered him 5 years. Scott Boras wants 7 years. I think he's overplaying his hand.
How old is he again?
31, I believe.
Yeah.
The thing with Scott Boras and Cody Bellinger, just to give people like some history, a little history lesson. Bellinger was a free agent 2 years ago. Couldn't find a deal. Ended up signing a short-term deal with Chicago, with the Cubs. It was like a 1-and-1 deal. So you got one guaranteed year, one opt-in year. He opted into that second year. Chicago wanted no part of him. So they basically traded him away to the Yankees. They paid the Yankees money to take him on. And now Scott Boras wants him to get a 7-year deal after he had a really good season in front of Aaron Judge. Nobody's going to offer him more than what the Yankees are offering him, unless there's a team crazy enough to offer him 7 years. I don't see that happening. Just because the trend in Major League Baseball is short-term deals with high money, with high average annual money attached to it. So unless a team comes out and gives him 3 years at $50 million a year, which I don't see that happening either, he's probably going to end up with the Yankees at the 5 years. I think they're offering like 5 years, 160, which comes out to like 32, I think, or 31,
That's
something like
bad.
that. That's a hell of a deal. He's not going to get that anywhere
especially,
else.
Yeah. I would have given him like a 3-year contract or a 4-year.
I wouldn't have gone past 3 years. Because honestly, he'd had a good year, but outside of Yankee Stadium, he struggled. Like, he's a good player. He's versatile on defense. He's decent on defense. He plays outfield, first base, all this stuff. But he's not someone you plug in and he's the game changer.
Is he an all-star? Is he even an all-star?
He's a good player.
So no, right? So you shouldn't be getting all-star money, bro. Like, what is wrong with these people?
That's what I'm saying. He's a good player. I think Scott Boras is just overplaying his hand, saying, and it's all these reports I was just reading, all these reports, there's 2 teams, there's 3 teams, there's the Mets. You know, everyone's going to throw out the Mets and the Dodgers just because they're the big money teams, but he's going to end up back with the Yankees unless some crazy stuff happens. But we'll see.
I hope so. I hope he ends up in the Yankees again. Yeah, but man, I guess it's looking like we're going to have a lockout next year.
Yeah, bring me the lockout. I'm ready. I'm mentally prepared for this, dude.
This might be the first lockout I'm ready for.
So that'll be 2027?
Yeah, after this season.
Yeah.
That means no one can sign contracts, none of that, right?
No contracts, nobody getting paid, nothing.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So it should be fun.
How do you even resolve that? Like, what are they even asking for?
So
because they don't got a salary cap.
Nothing official has come out, but from what I can tell you, what I've heard, listened to, read, all this other stuff is the owners are going to ask for a salary cap, and to entice the players union, they're going to offer a salary floor, which is essentially teams have to spend minimum. Yeah, so teams have to spend up to that amount. The only problem is there's teams like the Pirates, Marlins, all these the Rays that don't spend money each offseason. They're going to be well under whatever that salary floor is. So now we're going to see some exaggerated contracts just so they can get to that. But then the salary cap is the issue because you have the Dodgers at God knows what their payroll is, and it might be like $400 million at this point. The Mets into that high 300, 30, 50, whatever it is range. Where do you put the cap? And what's going to be the penalty for all this stuff? And, it's a lot. That's just the one thing that I know is going to be asked for on top of everything else that, wasn't agreed upon during the last lockout that's going to come up again this time around. So we're in for if it does lock out, which I think it will. I'm like 99% sure it's gonna be a lockout. We're in for a long lockout. Like I wouldn't be shocked if we lose more than half the season, if not the whole damn thing.
Sheesh.
Ain't no way they're gonna let a whole season go by. That's so much money lost, bro.
A lot
So
of
much
money.
revenue, and that impacts a whole bunch of other companies like Pepsi, Coca-Cola.
Well,
So they're
everything,
they're gonna be incentivized to get that deal done. I'm assuming.
yeah.
Or someone's gonna end up in the Abbey.
Someone's
that
been
too,
watching
but-
the mobster movies.
I've been seeing the president do what the fuck he wants.
What you been watching, Hasio? You been watching?
CNN.
You been watching The Sopranos, bro?
Oh, man. Nah, but
The lockout too. The issue with the lockout too, it's not just the major league players that get affected; it's the minor leagues. So these guys lose a whole year of development, which we saw.
right.
Like if you followed it, the lockout after the last lockout, a
Mhm.
lot of these dudes like missed that whole year of development, and they struggled at the major league level. A good amount of them because
Question.
of that.
For the lockout season, people already under contract, are those contracts honored and paid, or is like suspended?
It's a pause. Nobody gets paid.
None of those
Oh.
contracts are guaranteed.
They're guaranteed, but they don't get paid. You don't work, you don't get paid.
So this is like
So
a government
complete,
lockout.
yeah, it's a complete work stoppage.
That's wild.
So that's why you see a lot of dudes signing these short-term deals for big money. So like the Trent Grisham deal, where it was like that $22 million qualifying offer. Hell yeah, if I'm him, I'm taking that because I'm
Yeah,
guaranteed
it's
$22
life.
million for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen next year. I may struggle and not get paid, or I may not see the rest of that contract. So I'm gonna capitalize on $22 million in my pocket for 1 year and call it a day. We'll figure out next year. So a lot of these dudes are signing these short-term deals for, Kyle Tucker just signed for 50 mil or whatever it was with the Dodgers. Hell yeah, I'm gonna sign that.
Yeah, I'll be on some LeBron shit just doing 1 year deals.
That's what I'm saying. So, that's what I'm looking at if I'm an MLB player this year and I'm only getting 2-3 year offers, but I'm getting high money, high salary on that for the year, I'm snatching that. I'm gonna guarantee my money today.
Interesting. Can't wait to see how that unfolds.
Yeah, same here.
A year without baseball would be insane.
That would be crazy.
And everybody just loses a year of everything. That'd be worse than the pandemic.
Yep. Anything else, fellas?
No, nothing. Just that there's a big fight January 31st. Teofimo Lopez versus Shakir Stevenson for the titles at 140. Teofimo is gonna put his titles on the line, and I think it's gonna be a great fight. I'll probably break it down on our next episode.
Nice.
Do some sort of quick take there, but yeah, I think it's a very high level fight that we're getting at both guys at their prime.
Mhm.
I think both guys are like 26, 27 years old, so it's very rare to see guys like this step up so early in their careers. They typically drag these fights out
To
So
their
the
mid
fact that we're-
30s.
Yeah, Delfino's 28. I think Shakur is about the same age. Yeah, they're both the same age, 28 years old.
Good for them.
So yeah, so fights like this, they have the potential to be a trilogy, depending on how. But we're gonna see if they are in the same level or not.
Yeah, can't wait.
One thing to put on the radar too, and we'll talk about it right before the Super Bowl, that Bad Bunny concert, the halftime show. Definitely got to touch on that.
For sure.
I'm excited for that.
Me
I know
too.
a lot of people are hating on it, but too bad.
Too much.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people are also embracing it too. So
Yeah.
like people are setting up things for people to learn how to dance and how to learn how to speak Spanish. So I see a lot of people trying to do that too. I'm like, well, that's pretty dope. So can't wait. I know, man. I'm throwing a Super Bowl party here at the house, so
Nice.
Nice.
yeah, we just gotta clean up. But hopefully it'll be fun. I have friends coming, I guess.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Hopefully
Well,
it's a good game.
It will be.
It will.
Yeah, it's the NFL, bro. It's in the script.
So turn off the lights. If someone's getting blown out, make them come back. 28-3, come back
At
at
least-
130, 128.
At least the halftime show is gonna be lit. So
For
sure.
no, I don't got nothing else. The Knicks is ass right now. LeBron is not going to be an NBA All-Star starter for the first time in his career, I guess, after 21 seasons.
I don't think he's mad about that. I think he wants to go on vacation.
Yeah. Like, why would I even show up, right? They got 21 of them things.
yeah, I think him and Savannah are gonna be chilling.
Yeah. Let Bronny play a little bit.
Facts. Yeah, he got 2 votes, Bronny. 2 players voted for him. I wonder how high those players were when they voted for him.
LeBron James and LeBron James.
Hey, they probably did that shit in Cura. Like, yo, let's vote for Bron.
Yo,
I won't do it
you
if
know-
you don't do it. I bet.
I guarantee you his 2 votes were LeBron and Dylan Brooks, bro. Because Dylan Brooks is that kind of troll.
Dylan, bro. Oh, man.
His antics are starting to win me over.
Yeah, he's really good, man. What I like is that whatever team he goes, they start playing better. Like,
Yeah.
Phoenix is actually playing better this year.
Yeah.
So there's a method to his madness.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
One last thing. Jimmy Butler tore his ACL.
Yeah.
I hate that, man.
Yeah.
So late in his career, too. That's tough.
Yeah, and the Warriors are playing decent, and now might be questionable the rest of the season.
Damn, man.
Yeah, and they're trying to fight back and come back this year for the start of the next year.
Damn, that's
Well,
tough. We'll see what they do in the trade deadline.
Right.
I think they're definitely gonna move Kuminga. I think he asked for a trade. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's been lingering since the off season, man. This back and forth with him, so we'll see. It may be the time.
Bueno, señores, aquí llegamos.
Hasta aquí llegamos.
Yes, sir.
Till next time, thank ya. If y'all still tuning into ya, thank ya. Appreciate it. Make sure to keep sharing, and subscribing, and let us know in the comments who y'all think is gonna win,
Word.
and if there's anything else that we missed.
Yeah,
Thank you,
let
guys.
us know.
Yeah, thank ya. See ya.
See you next week.